So I didn't actually think that I would get accepted into this con, but here we are. Hi, I'm Cassandra Lynn, owner of Oakleaf Arrow Studios. I am a fantasy cartographer, which means I specialize in drawing maps because who needs anatomy when you can just draw thousands of tiny trees? And tomorrow I'm achieving a dream 8 years in the making. If you know anything about the Artist Alley scene, you know that it's getting increasingly expensive and increasingly competitive to get into shows. But just like with all of my other hobbies and interests that I got bullied for liking as a kid, these things are just mainstream now, for better or for worse. Even though I officially started my business in 2021, I have been running some sort of business since I was a kid, from selling bracelets on the playground to vending at small craft shows selling rainbow loom creations. Around 2018 is when I discovered anime conventions, and with them, the Artist Alley. If you don't know, is a marketplace within the convention where various artists come together to sell their work in person. When I first discovered anime conventions, I was in high school doing a bunch of extracurriculars and probably broke. So I didn't actually go to my first anime convention until 2022. Even though I had never been to one, I was still hooked on the thought of selling my artwork at an Artist Alley. My gateway into this kind of obsession with Artist Alley was actually from two different YouTubers, Christopher Kaiko and Bailey J. Back in the day, sorry, it's so funny to say back in the day because it was like 8 years ago, but back in the day, there weren't that many Artist Alley vlogs. Nowadays, though, they're a dime a dozen. 8 years later, I myself am ready to add to the Artist Alley vlog pool. So let's chat about my first experience of Con Crunch while I set up and test out my table one last time before my show tomorrow. Speaking of my table, figuring out how I wanted my table to be set up was easily the most frustrating part of this entire experience. Thanks to 8 years of buildup to this very moment, there was absolutely no pressure to make everything perfect. None at all. On a real note though, no matter how many experienced artists would say that your first table is not going to be perfect and that your table will grow with you, I was like, nah, but like, I'll be the exception. And don't get me wrong, I'm really proud of how my table ended up looking like, but it's kind of become a project that I've stared at for too long, and because of that, I can nitpick it to absolute hell. There are certain elements that are missing in my setup that I wanted to add, but I ran out of time and, quite frankly, ran out of patience as well. One of the reasons I was so stressed about having a more elaborate booth was because my art doesn't really stand out, I feel like, among itself. There's no characters, there's no setting, and even more than that, there's no color. So I had hoped by adding some figurative color and cool design to my booth that it would help it stand out. So one of the things I made last night was this little like canopy situation that's gonna like arch over top here. The problem is I really suck at sewing. I pulled out my sewing machine, did the whole thing. I suck at sewing and I can't measure things because yeah, that ended up a little uneven, but we're about to see if it works. If it doesn't, I might cry, but I think it's long enough. I hope it's long enough. You're about to find out, because even I don't know. We're off to a bad start. The plan was to have this long enough in the back to where it wouldn't fall forward like this and I wouldn't have to have any attachments up at the top. Yay! It's going so well. You know what? I've seen worse. No, I haven't. I'm a little undecided. I might chop these pieces slightly shorter, but I kind of like how they're uneven. I guess I could like pin them up and that would look nice. Okay, let's try that. It's supposed to be very like market caravan inspired, very like medieval-esque. So I think the frayed edges and the ratchety nature of it is working. It's fine. It's fine, I think. So that was one of the things that I did last night was this little canopy. I gotta step away from it and look at it from a distance because up close, she's ratchet, but it's fine. But the other more exciting thing, I don't know why I'm using this as a mic. My mic's on me. Is this hanging sign that I put together. Look how good it looks. This, I'm pretty proud of. So these were just like wooden blocks from a hobby store. Yeah, I didn't have drills to like actually drill the chain and like secure it. So this is my also very ratchet DIY. But you know what? It works. I used a paint pen to write the letters on, and then I just used sticker paper to stick my logo on. And this shall go here. I think I like it. I'm gonna walk away from this for a second. This took so many hours to work on last night, and this was my first time seeing it, and I'm a little undecided about how I feel. So we're just gonna, I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back. It's fine. Everything's fine. So my booth has a little bit of a leaning problem because essentially the fold-out table I have, it has a lip, and how do I explain this? So, you know, the clamp needs to be like vertical, but it has a little lip, so it's like at an angle, so it's not actually like clamping flat. So here's my booth, which actually seeing it all together, I kind of like. But here's the leaning problem. Yep. Still going. And this is my booth. This is how it's supposed to be, which it's much easier to see everything like this. Let me just shimmy over out of the way here for you can kind of see everything. I won't actually be able to give you a full like booth tour until tomorrow when I have it set up on a real table. Also, my hair tie just broke. So that's super fun too. Things are happening. So much is happening. I'm kind of scared to let this go again though, because it keeps leaning further and further every time I let it go. But on top of dealing with this headache of actually like setting up my booth, I did do some drawing during my Kong Crunch phase, which I'm now going to take this setup apart, pack it up, and I'll talk you through some of the drawings I made. The first piece I drew was Johto from Pokemon. Since 2026 is the 30th year of Pokemon, I decided that throughout the year I would draw every single region. I meant to start with Kanto, but got ahead of myself and started with Johto. I'm not too mad about it though. Heart Gold is the game that I clocked the most hours on as a kid. I think it was my first DS game as well, so that checks out. In the middle of drawing this map, I actually went to Japan and stopped by a few Pokemon centers. So I actually really wanted to be at home finishing this map. But Japan was lovely, and just like all the other times I visited, it truly recharged my creative spark. You may notice that this map has a lot more locations than what you get to see in game, and that's because there is more locations. I included locations from the anime and the movies as well, using the information from Bulbapedia to approximate where they were located. It was a fun puzzle, and it took me down a few rabbit holes, one of my favorite being that there's a Pokemon Jiu-Jitsu Academy. I did end up leaving the academy off the map since it wasn't really a town, but I just had to mention its existence to you all. And maybe I only find it funny because I did jujitsu for a bit. But anyways, the next piece I tackled was Hyrule from The Legend of Zelda, but specifically Breath of the Wild. I incorporated designs from the Sheikah Slate and included all the tower locations as well. I had actually started this map 2 years prior and had to put a pin in it thanks to becoming extra busy with commissions, but I'm so glad I waited this long to come back to it because my art skills have become so much better since then. This was the original border design, smaller silent princesses, and I think it's cute, but nothing compared to how the actual border design came out on this one. And don't even get me started on the compass. Oh my gosh, I truly fear I've peaked with this one. It also helped that it was the biggest compass I've drawn this far, and that really helped with the level of detail I was able to incorporate into it. That's the other thing worth noting. All three of these maps were the largest I've drawn, other than, of course, the How to Train Your Dragon map. I typically draw on 11 by 14 inch paper, but these were on 12 by 18 inch paper and then scaled down to 11 by 17 for prints. Those extra few inches made a world of difference, especially on the last map I did, which was One Piece. This map was the most challenging in the research portion because I don't know if y'all know this, but there's no real official map. So using a variety of reference photos, I scrapped together this map. It's also worth mentioning that I was ducking and dodging spoilers like there was no tomorrow while researching because I only got into One Piece recently, and I'm also a live action fan. I know. Call me a fake fan all you want, but I still giggle when people have the gall to look you dead in the eyes and recommend you an anime that has over 1,000 episodes. It's okay though, because I'm reading the manga right now and I am having a grand old time. slip those into a sleeve right behind here as well for you. Perfect. Do you need a receipt at all? No, you're okay. All right, you're all set. Thank you.
A copy of the one from the actual show and movies and stuff?
It's inspired by it. Yeah, it's completely hand-drawn though. I just used reference photos.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you so much.
What do you have up here?
What do I have up here?
Yeah, it's like
Maps. Lots of maps. Which map are you looking for?
Lord of the Rings.
I don't. I know it's such. It's my most requested map, but I've been so intimidated because it's such an iconic map that I really want to do it justice. But it's definitely coming out in the summer.
Okay.
I've decided.
Let me know.
Yeah, I have a business card here if you'd like, and that has all my socials on it.
Oh, awesome.
Oh my gosh, no way! Hi!
I'm obsessed with you. I have your notice on.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for stopping by. 1, 2, 3. Do you need a receipt? No? Okay. Here you are, love. Hi, how are you?
Wow, I love maps. It's really
Thank you. I do as well. Can you tell? I'm sorry?
Can I get that high roller?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you doing cash or card? Card? Okay, perfect. Can you try one more time? I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry, now my card reader's having a moment.
You're good.
Okay. 3rd time's a charm. Thank you so much for your patience. There you are.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do you need a receipt? You're okay. Thank you. It's just going to be 5 with tax, $5.34. Do you want a bag to put your bookmark in? There you are. I sold out.
You sold out?
Yeah, I'll have some tomorrow.
You're too good.
As I had in my vlog.
I vlog.
This con has been literally insane, but I'm having a blast, even though I look exhausted because my makeup is smeared, but it fits the pirate aesthetic, so it's fine. It has been nonstop busy. It's 6:30, and I'm just now having a moment to breathe. It's been insane, but I'm having a blast, and I cannot wait to recap y'all later because it's been a crazy day. We broke 4 figures, which was my goal, and it happened. It's been insane seeing people react to my art in real time, which has never happened before. So it's just been so much fun. Literally this entire day has flown by. 10 out of 10 experience. I want to do it again so bad, and I cannot wait for tomorrow, even though I'm really dreading my 2-hour drive back. But it's fine. It's fine, guys. I get to sleep in tomorrow. Today I had to wake up at 5 in the morning and then drive 2 hours. So I was a little sleepy when I got here. Setup was a headache, but it happened. And now we're here having a blast. Yeah, I'm working through drawing all the regions. I start with Johto. I'm going to go back and do Kanto, and then I'm going to be drawing all the regions in order.
Okay. Do you have a business card?
Yeah, right here in this chest. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be posting them throughout the year. That's that. Yes, you get it. That's my favorite.
That's my first game.
Mine too, Sapphire. I got too much nostalgia for Sapphire, so. I am home from day 1 of swampcon, and it was amazing. Oh my goodness. It is 11 p.m. right now, and I made a joke earlier being like, oh, I'm so excited I can sleep in tomorrow. Mind you, sleeping in is still waking up at 7:30, just not 5 in the morning, which is a big upgrade from today. My goodness. My shins, my hips, my ankles hurt so bad that entire 2-hour drive. I did stand all day, and I haven't stood all day since my days at Olive Garden being a host. So, quite some time since I've done like an all day shift of standing and, working retail. 6 p.m. is when I hit my slump and I started to feel the day, feel the 5 hours of sleep, feel the 2 hour drive, feel the waking up at 5 in the morning. I am so freaking proud of the number we hit today. And my goal with this show, I think I mentioned earlier in the video, was not financial by any means. Honestly, my biggest goal was the experience of like doing an artist alley, seeing if this is something that I actually like, that I want to pursue and like try to apply for more shows and to just like dip my toe in the water. And I thought doing a small con like this would be perfect because yes, it's a small con, but it's not a poorly run con. It's a very well run con. We had multiple volunteers coming up, checking on us, the process of like setting up, getting into our spot, totally smooth. And there was so much foot traffic, guys. Like, I think I updated the vlog at like 6 p.m. or like 6:30, I think. That was the first moment of the entire day where there were like gaps in the crowd. Because literally from the moment we opened to, 5:30, it like started to slow down a little bit, but it didn't like completely sputter out until around like 7. So around 7 to 8, Artist Alley closed at 8. Then it was like, okay, we're slowing down, things are closing up. But from like 6 to 8, I did not get that many sales, which I think also made the rest of the day harder just because I was so tired and there was nothing, like not a lot of conversation. Well, there were some conversations, but not a lot of sales to like keep me engaged and stuff. But I broke even. I broke even with my inventory of the 4 new maps. Well, 3 new maps plus my avatar parchment, and I spent over $1,000 on that. Broke even with the gas money I have to spend to drive there and back, the tolls, food, and the table itself. So that's really exciting. And then if I take away the inventory part, I am fairly certain I have broke even when it comes to my actual like booth setup. So, the tablecloth, the really expensive camera poles to like do the whole backdrop setup, the actual like canopy moment. So I'm pretty much even on all of that, which is really, really exciting. So either way I look at it, either I'm even with inventory, so then when I have my shop launch next week, all of that is profit, or I can think all of tomorrow is just like pure profit based on breaking even with the investment into my Artist Alley booth. Exceeded expectations, especially because this is only day 1, which is amazing for, again, it's a 2-day local show run by college kids, and they were so sweet as well. But oh my goodness, like I said, it was so well run. Everyone was so sweet. My neighbor next to me was so kind. We already talked about trading something tomorrow, which is very exciting because she has the cutest little Korok stickers. I'll actually pop them up on the screen and tag her because her art was so cute. And I literally was side-eyeing the Korok stickers like all day, and I was like, I need those. So we talked about trading tomorrow. My only complaint was a different one of my neighbors, and I'm not gonna like say who, and it wasn't like, it was someone in the area, not like any like, whatever. I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but oh my god, they were so obnoxious. There were 2 of them, and they were like yelling at each other the entire time, and not like yelling, they were just talking so loudly to one another, and they were at 2 separate booths yelling at each other. I'm like right there basically. And also, the only, like, I wasn't going to bring this up, but then, and this could have been them just, like, referencing something else. I don't know. But they were talking about someone, and they're like, I don't know why they keep showing up to this stupid-ass con. And I'm like, put some respect, like, on this convention. What the heck? So, I was already annoyed with them because they were so loud. And I was so overstimulated because not only were they talking so loud behind me, but then my side neighbor, at the beginning, they luckily turned down the music. We're like also blasting music. So it's a very, very small room. There was 11 of us in this small room, and you literally like one-way path to get through it, and it was still really crowded, and you're blasting music and you're yelling behind me, and it's my first artist alley, and I'm already overwhelmed and stressed and hoping my card reader works and hoping this happens. And I was just like, this is too much right now. This is so much is happening. But yeah, amazing, amazing. Some of the highlights, I met a subscriber, met a few followers of people that saw me on TikTok or on Instagram, which was really, really cool. They was like, oh, I saw you on TikTok, or oh, I saw you on Instagram. And I was like, yeah, you did. One girl recognized me from Dragon Con. I went to Dragon Con this past year and I dressed as Prithian, like as a map. And she kind of side eyes me and goes, did you go to Dragon Con? And I went to a couple cons and I was like, Dragon Con? Yeah, no, yeah, I did. And she's like, were you perhaps dressed as a map? And I was like, yeah, I was. So they were at the Sarah J. Maas meetup, so I thought that was really fun that they like remembered me. Lots of fun comments about my booth, which made me feel so good because I was like a little, not like insecure necessarily, because like I said, I was really proud of how my booth turned out. But you know, you are your own harshest critic. So there were little things that I was like, oh, I could have done that better. Or, oh, maybe I should have hemmed my canopy because it kind of looks ratchet. But it's fine. So many compliments just literally warmed my heart. A lot of people really loved how like thematic it was, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm going for. Little comments on like my price signs say like gold coins. I had one person go, gold coins? Pff, those should be copper coins. And I was like, come on now, I know my worth. The second the con started, I was like beaming ear from ear and I could not stop. Literally, my cheeks were hurting from smiling. Truly an experience unlike any other, because like I've talked to people in real life and I've shown them my maps and like they think it's cool and they have that reaction. But I don't, just seeing it without any like preface of just like pure reaction. There were so many people that just like dropped their jaw and just kind of like stared or like pointed from afar and like whispered to their friend. And I was like, the real-time feedback was, oh, it was so cool. And what was also cool is I sold quite a few of like my mini prints of like my Farron staff. I don't actually know if I sold any of my K-pop Demon Hunter, but I think that like phase of fandom is kind of, you know, at its lower point. And then like my tulip and my lily of the valley, I sold a couple of those as well, which was so cool because I don't do a lot of digital art. I know my maps are good, which I don't know if that's like egotistical to say or whatever, but like, you know, I'm published in books. Like people hire me to do maps for their books. You know, I've seen the reactions. Like I'm proud of my maps, but my digital art, I'm a little more insecure about. So seeing people gush over that as well and actually like spend their hard-earned money on it was just it was such an amazing experience. My one and only moment of like panic when my card reader didn't work, because somehow it died immediately. Like I think it accidentally turned on in my bag and like died on the drive. Or I don't even, like maybe it just didn't even, it died overnight. I don't know. But I was like trying to do this transaction. I was like, this is weird. Why isn't anything happening? And then it was like card reader at 10%. And then it wouldn't take transactions. I'm like, you have 10% left and you're not going to take transactions? And I was like, where's my portable charger? And I like plugged it in. Thankfully, it immediately, you know, started charging and then took the payment. But I was like, second transaction, here we are. But other than that, things went so smoothly. I felt so prepared. I was able to lend some people like tape that needed it because I had tape and scissors, and like I felt so prepared. Like I didn't feel like I forgot anything, and that was just a really good feeling. The only thing I regret is not bringing more bookmarks. Those sold so good. I really need to shut up and go to bed because I have another long day ahead of me tomorrow. Like I said, I do get to sleep in until 7:30. And then the con runs from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Today was 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., but I had to get there early at 8 o'clock in the morning to actually like set up the booth. So very excited for day 2 of swampcon, and I hope it is just as successful or more successful as it was. And I'll see how much I film tomorrow, but then I'll update you with my final thoughts when I come back. Good morning, it's day 2 of swampcon. I have to leave in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to be eating breakfast and then getting on the road. I am so excited. Very tired to wake up this morning, even with the 7 hours of sleep and sleeping in. I still felt like I got hit by a bus yesterday, but it's fine because now that I'm ready, now that I have imbued the spirit of Nami within me, I hopefully will have enough energy to get through today and hopefully make a lot of sales and have a lot of fun once again. Kind of dreading the drive once again. But regardless, I'm excited for day 2 and I will see you at the con. All right, you can go ahead and grab it. Are we doing cash or card?
Actually, let's get the direct. I'll just do cash.
Cash? All right, it's gonna be 5 even. Do you want a little baggie to put it in?
Yes, please.
Perfect.
Whoops.
You have voices in your head. Right, I'll grab you change. You can go ahead and slip that in there. Tina's your change.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a good rest of your con. Thank you so much.
From the area?
I am from Orlando.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if you ever want to come to Goblin Market, hit us up.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you.
Got a fan too.
Yeah, after yesterday, I knew I needed it. All the maps are hand-drawn, pen on paper.
Wow.
And a tote bag.
All right, do you want the tan one or the black one?
Let's do black.
Black, and we're doing cash or card?
Let's do card.
Card, all right, perfect.
That's all.
Do we need a receipt?
Yes, please.
Here you are. You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your con. Cute. Thank you so much.
This is so cool.
Thank you so much. They're all hand drawn, pen on paper. I have a master list up here of all the ones that I have available.
I'm like obsessed with this.
So these are all like from these like fandoms here, but I do also do custom work. I work with a lot of like authors, D&D campaigns, things like that. But all of these are fan art.
Sorry. How does the dragon map kit work?
So it comes as separate sheets here, and then I provide a video tutorial on like how to put it together, like step by step, piece by piece. It's just so it was as affordable as possible.
So by 85 gold feet, it's $85.
Yes,
Do you sell them online by any chance?
I do. I have a business card right here if you'd like to grab one. Of course. Okay, 1, 2, and then the bookmark. Okay, perfect. There you are. You're welcome. And this Avatar map does include locations from Avatar, Korra, the graphic novels, and the books. So it has pretty much every location on there for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Enjoy. Perfect. There you are. You're welcome. Have a good rest of your con. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Draw the ones that you would like.
One of these.
Perfect. We're doing card. Do you need a receipt?
No.
No. All right, you're all set. Thank you
so much.
Hello, it has been over a month since swampcon, and honestly, I don't have that many final thoughts that I didn't already share in like my day 1 wrap up. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Day 2 went nearly as well as Saturday did. Honestly, for a Sunday, I was pretty pleased with the numbers. We did break 4 figures once again. I think for my first artist alley, it was the perfect place to start. There was free parking and the setup and location was easy to find and easy to set up. All in all, I am quite pleased with swampcon, and honestly, I would do it again next year. I loved that show. Will I get a hotel next year if I don't have to drive the 2 hours? Probably. Maybe. We'll see. But I do plan on trying to apply for next year's show as well. So fingers crossed that all works out. Thank you so much for watching my first ever Artist Alley vlog. It was really fun to put together, and I'm really glad that it's documented just for I have how things went at my first ever show, which is so exciting, and I hope to be doing many more in the future. I better start applying to some shows now, and hopefully I'll see you in future Artist Alley vlogs. Bye!